Presented from the Aishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Counterculture presented by Counterman Magazine. Well, air quality inside the car can be just as important as what's under the hood, and cabin air filters play a very big part in that. As today I'm pleased to be joined by Brian Smith, the Territory Sales Manager at Bosch Mobility Aftermarket. We're going to go a little more in depth about cabin air filters. Brian, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jeff. Great to be here.
All right, why are cabin air filters so important? We hear about them a lot. Maybe customers don't know how why they're important. What role do they play in vehicle performance?
So with cabin air filters, it's important because you're actually filtering the air that's coming into the car.
All right.
You know, you're capturing dust, pollutants, pollen, and maybe some southern states and coastal areas, you're catching sand.
Right.
Just very important that you want to keep all of that out of your system. Obviously, you don't want to breathe it, but even furthermore, you don't want sand and particles getting down in your blower motor. Therefore, you can cause vibrations and noise. It's just very important to keep everything clean on today's vehicles.
Absolutely. Well, how often should customers replace their cabin air filters? What factors might shorten or perhaps even extend the interval?
So some of the intervals, at Bosch, we recommend every 12,000 miles. The OEs may say every 10,000. They may even say up to 20,000. It's really on how the OE determines with their filtration on how they want it to be changed. Some of the factors, environment. Again, we talked about living on a coastal area. You might have an area where you're high levels of sand that's being filtered out. That's going to plug the cabin air filter up more. Maybe you're living in an area that's got a lot of trees and you're getting a lot of droppings from the trees getting into the filters. You may also run into where you're in a dry desert area where, you get some dust, but you're not seeing as much in the filter being captured because it's a drier area. Some of the vehicles I see that are can be really bad is construction vehicles.
Okay.
Guys going on and off construction sites, you're seeing a lot of issues with, all that dust and debris that the machines are kicking up that are being filtered out.
Yeah. There have got to be some signs, and I think we may have an example, where it's time to replace the cabin air filter.
Yes.
What signs should the Counter Pro look for to suggest we got to get a new one of these?
Well, your first big sign is, going into summer, going into fall. The first time you crank the AC up on max AC or max heat, you just don't quite have the airflow coming out now. And it's just taking longer to heat the vehicle up or maybe taking longer to cool the vehicle down.
Okay.
If it hasn't been suggested on a cabin air filter replacement, it's definitely something that should be looked into to see if, is that the cause of the lack of airflow.
Okay. What are the differences between standard cabin air filters and those with activated carbon or advanced filtration technologies?
So what you have with your standards, like a standard media, it's good for catching most stuff. When you step up to more of the premium lines of different levels of filters, you have your first level is like your carbon. They've got activated charcoal in them. That is designed to help remove odors. It's helped, sometimes with some of these cabin air filters, and obviously this is one of them here that is gotten very dirty. Odors build up, stenches build up. So therefore this carbon is helped designed to remove that. Now, when you step up into the ultra premium filters like this Bosch cabin air, this is a HEPA cabin air from Bosch.
Okay.
It has 3 layers of filtration. It's got your structural layer that's designed to catch the big contaminants. Then it has the HEPA layer that's designed to catch the microns, the dust, the pollen, the bacteria. And then you have your final layer, which is the static layer, which helps design with the cabin or with the HEPA layer to help grab it and keep it in place. These filters are 99.97% efficient in catching. So they're very good at filtering the air out.
So you have a premium air filter like this. How can Counter Pros tell customers who are probably focused on price or maybe focused on price, how do they explain the value of a filter like this?
So it's pretty easy. You're just kind of going over how good the filter is. The amount of pollen and debris, maybe somebody has allergies. You obviously don't want a bunch of pollen in the springtime coming inside your vehicle and start sneezing while you're driving.
Right.
Very important to kind of to highlight the reason why these filters are better.
Right. So this isn't just a vehicle performance thing. We discussed this a little before the show. This is also your health.
Correct.
Okay. Is there any training or resources that Bosch offers to help counter pros talk confidently about these air filters?
Yeah, Bosch has a line called Fred Talks videos. There's different subjects we talk about, but we actually have a couple different ones on cabin air. One of them is to show how you can change them out yourself. If you're comfortable enough, generally cabin airs are not too bad to change out. It's a nice video that kind of shows you how it's done. And then the other part of the Fred Talks videos that we have for cabin air explains the efficiency and the dynamics of the Bosch cabin air.
Outstanding. Brian Smith from
All right.
Bosch Mobility Aftermarket. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Jeff. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for watching Counterculture presented by Counterman Magazine. As a reminder, we have all of our Counterman videos available on the Counterman YouTube channel. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.